The Foundation of Rome by John Frost. Coffee Break Collection 22, Days Gone By. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Betty B. The Foundations of Rome. BC 753. There are many different accounts of the events attending the foundation of Rome, the city which was once to be mistress of the world. But such statements as appear most probable are here selected to make up a story, which, while it pleases, shall also convey instruction. The Romans generally believed that they were descended from Aeneas and his followers, who, after the sacking of Troy by the Greeks in the year BC 1184, fled from thence in ships and ended their voyage in Latium. Here Latinus was king, and when he saw that Aeneas was peaceably disposed and only wished a place of refuge, he admitted him into his favor and gave him his daughter Lavinia in marriage. He engaged in the affairs of his father-in-law, who was much pleased with him and his followers. When Latinus died, Aeneas ascended the throne, and was after his death succeeded by his descendants, down to the time of Numitor, who was dethroned by his brother Amulius. Amulius murdered his son, and his daughter was compelled to become a Vestal, so that she might have no children to revenge themselves on the tyrant. But his measures were vain, for Rhea Silvia, the Vestal, had twin sons, who were thrown into the river Tiber, and she was condemned to be buried alive. The place where the children were thrown being shallow, they soon grounded, and, the waters retiring, were, according to the account, suckled by a she-wolf, until Faustulus the king's shepherd, struck with the strange sight, took them up and treated them as his own children. They increased in strength and became shepherds, but not liking this occupation they went to the chase, and there obtained a superiority over their fellows by the exhibition of a little daring and valor. They seemed born to command, and discovered abilities above the meanness of their supposed origin. The companions of Romulus and Remus, the two twins, increased in numbers daily, and were strong enough to attack the robbers who infested that neighborhood. Some persons who envied Remus resolved to rid themselves of his rivalship by taking him before Numitor, who dared do nothing till the sanction of his brother was received. Compassion made Numitor defer the sentence. He asked Remus concerning his birth. The young man replied that he was ignorant of the place of his nativity, but only knew that Faustulus had said that Romulus and he were twins, and were found exposed on the brink of the river. Numitor immediately perceived in Remus and his brother the twins exposed by Amulius. Meantime Faustulus disclosed to Romulus his noble birth, and immediately nothing was thought of but the destruction of the tyrant. He was beset on all sides. Romulus marched through the avenues of the palace and restored his grandfather to the throne. Not long after, Romulus and Remus formed a settlement. A fatal desire of reigning seized them both. Numitor advised them to let the decision of their quarrels rest with the gods. Accordingly, each stationed himself on a hill and waited for the appearance of vultures, which was then the foolish method used for finding the will of the gods. Romulus sent to Remus a message, saying that he had seen some of these birds. Just then Remus saw 6, and running to Romulus to discover the truth of what he had heard, he found that he was deceived. But Romulus at that instant saw 12 vultures. Remus said he was victorious because the birds first appeared to him, and Romulus insisted that as he had seen the greatest number, he was the conqueror. From the dispute they came to blows, and Remus was slain by his brother, who, being provoked at his leaping contemptuously over the walls, struck him dead at his feet. Romulus was, therefore, the sole commander of the city. Soon after he was elected their king, and thus we see that, in the infancy of society, men were chosen as rulers who had distinguished themselves in the service and protection of their country. He established a senate of 100 men, and divided the people into patricians and plebeians. At first the city was nearly square, built of mud, and governed the country only for 8 miles round. Yet the city was one day to give laws to all the world. End of The Foundation of Rome